Just as we're all students of love, we're also students of nature, and I think that Earth is the epitome of unconditional love. This video is meant to resonate with you if you are ending the chapter where pain was your greatest teacher. Pain was your catalyst to grow and awaken, but you've graduated. Your next life chapter will be new lessons, and this new chapter is much more aligned with love and reconnecting with your true nature, which is also always connected to Earth's nature. Your body is an expression of nature, and just as the forest has learned to surrender to the transitions of seasons, your body has also memorized survival. The human body is a miraculously intelligent vessel for consciousness, but it also sometimes rehearses the past so much that the body's biology thinks it's still living there. If suffering has become predictable and the brain prefers familiarity over the unknown, then finally finding safety and love can actually feel uncomfortable. Aside from the paradox, love is like a quantum field of possibilities to live a completely unfamiliar yet beautiful life. If you just discovered my YouTube channel, welcome to Divine Magic Art, where creative minds unite and channel their divine magic to create arts. My name is Melody. I'm a fashion designer, digital artist, musician, painter, and creative writer. Most of you already know that I design all of the fashion that you see me modeling on divinemagicart.com. I love creating artwork of nature because it will always be our greatest muse and a perfect example of unrepressed authenticity and unconditional love. I hope that when you experience love that you remember you deserve it, because love is our true nature beneath all of the narratives, pain, and resistance. When you experience love, remember you're worthy of the kind of admiration you effortlessly give to a sunset. Plants don't doubt their design. A leaf doesn't apologize for being uneven. A tree doesn't shrink itself because another tree is taller. The sun doesn't wish it had set at a different angle. Nature simply exists fully, freely, unapologetically, because authentic existence itself is the masterpiece, and we have never been separate from nature's divine perfection. You are nature in human form. Everyone is a living expression of the same universal intelligence that paints sunsets and orchestrates galaxies. Your mind wants to master every algorithm, plan the next 5 years, and optimize every move, but maybe what your mind really wants is permission to be imperfectly perfect. Just as nature exhibits expression without criticism, it's never necessary to prove what is already true, which is the fact that you are worthy of creating your best life. The overthinking critical mind may convince you that you need to be perfect to deserve love, but the truth is, self-love starts the moment that you stop abandoning yourself while calling it self-improvement. Self-rejection doesn't guide us into a version of self that we accept. It only creates patterns of trying to fix everything that was never broken. Sometimes we think we need more strategies, more force, and more momentum, but these moments are opportunities for the wisest teachers to present themselves. And by that I mean that our wisest teachers are in nature and the universe. Remembering that you're a fractal of the universe experiencing itself feels like returning home to your true nature. Just like the trees, we were never meant to be precisely symmetrical. Just like the sun, we were never meant to dim our brilliance. And just like the universe, we were never meant to doubt the divine perfection of life on Earth. You're still here right now because you're meant to recognize your value as a divine expression of nature creating your life. As I mentioned earlier, the body is a miraculously intelligent vessel for consciousness, and you have the ability to teach your body what it feels like to live as the embodiment of love. Heart-brain coherence is a key to manifesting your greatest life, and it's something that I've mentioned before on my channel, Divine Magic Art. Also, I would like to include a video clip to elaborate more on that. When you align your inner frequency with abundance, wealth must materialize because in the quantum field, aligned frequencies converge. Your body is an extraordinarily intelligent electromagnetic system. Every cell, every organ, and every neural impulse generates tiny electrical currents. These currents produce magnetic fields that extend beyond your physical body. This combined field is often referred to as your biofield or aura. The heart is the strongest generator of electromagnetic energy in your body, as I said earlier, and according to the Heart Math Institute, the field produced by the heart is about 100 times stronger electrically and 5,000 times stronger magnetically than that of the brain. The heart's field radiates about 3 to 6 feet or more around your body and can be measured with sensitive instruments like magnetocardiograms. The brain produces electrical patterns, brainwaves, when your thoughts and emotions are balanced through like meditation, gratitude, visualization, whatever methods you use, your brain and your heart become coherent and the rhythms synchronize, and the coherence strengthens your biofield, making your energy more ordered, less chaotic. Every cell in your body holds a charge across its membrane like a mini battery. This creates a subtle electromagnetic environment inside and around you, constantly interacting with the quantum field. The last key code is my main inspiration for this poem that I would like to read to you. The Art of Becoming, a Quantum Invocation. We are travelers of infinity. We are not bound by the thread of one story, nor limited by the pages of a single script. We are multi-dimensional authors, and our souls carry many signatures. We speak today not of fantasy, but of a deeper truth. Time is less like a line and more of an alive spiral. That reality bends to the frequency you choose to embody. Every moment is a doorway. We find ourselves in a hall of mirrors, and the reflections we see reveal all of the expressions of us. Timeline shifting is not science fiction. It is an energetic decision made with coherence between brain and heart. It is conviction. With fierce clarity, we leap out of the loop of fear, doubt, and delay, and into a timeline where our highest potential leads. Permission to feel powerful is only granted by yourself. The biggest illusion is that our future is a distant destination. We collapse the distance between possible timelines when we shift vibrational frequency, and when you match the energetic code of a timeline, you experience quantum jumping, the most sacred act of faith. It is leaping from the known into the aligned, from surviving into thriving, from longing into having. But understand this, the jump is not in the mind, it is in the feeling, it is in the being, it is in every choice you make when no one is watching. You are not just manifesting a reality, you are manifesting a personality that resonates with your greatest potential and greatest fulfillment. You are consciously creating the version of you who already lives in that reality. Have clarity with your goals, and remember that everything you desire in a perceived future is a feeling that you can access now. In meditation, when you shift your awareness beyond your body, beyond time, beyond environment, what you're doing is signaling to the quantum field that you're ready to overcome limitations, release narratives, and embody your greatest potential. When we feel gratitude for a future we have not yet experienced in the 3D, we become magnetic to that timeline because we are communicating a coherent signal with the quantum field. And I describe the details more in this video. You are the portal through which the universe evolves into a greater understanding of itself. In quantum mechanics, a particle exists as a wave of probabilities, a superposition of all possible states until it's observed or measured. Famous experiments like the double-slit experiment show that electrons behave like waves when unobserved, but collapse into particles when measured. The implication for manifestation is that your observation, awareness, influences how possibilities collapse into your personal reality. This mirrors the metaphysical teaching that your focus, attention, and belief patterns act as a measurement on the quantum field, shaping which potential becomes real for you. The wave function is a mathematical description of all possible states a particle could occupy. Superposition means multiple states exist simultaneously until one is chosen, so the life you experience is one collapsed and manifested version out of countless superposed potentials already present in the quantum field. When your energy, thought, emotion, and belief aligns with a certain potential, that's the version that materializes in your perception. Quantum entanglement states that two particles can become entangled so that their states remain correlated even across vast distances. Changing one particle's state immediately affects the others regardless of space-time separation. Your consciousness and the external reality aren't truly separate, they're entangled aspects of one unified field. This supports the idea that what you embody inwardly influences what you encounter outwardly. In quantum systems, when particles enter a coherent state, they act as a unified whole. Lasers, superconductivity, and Bose-Einstein condensates are examples of coherence producing extraordinary effects. The implication for manifestation is that when your brain, heart, and nervous system are coherent with aligned emotions, thoughts, and intentions, you broadcast a much clearer signal into the field, like a laser beam compared to a flashlight. This explains why practices like meditation, visualization, and gratitude amplify manifestation power. because they shift your internal state into coherence. The HeartMath Institute and other labs have measured that the heart generates the largest electromagnetic field in the body, which is detectable several feet away from you. Heart-brain coherence produces a stable, ordered signal that influences the nervous system and possibly the environment. Your emotional state isn't just chemical, it's electromagnetic. It broadcasts information into the field, interacting with other systems. Even empty space isn't truly empty, it's filled with fluctuations of energy at the quantum level. Some physicists, such as Harold Puthoff, Ervin Laszlo, and others, theorize that this field might actually function as an information matrix for all reality. The quantum field of infinite potential described in spiritual teachings could correspond to this zero-point field, an underlying sea of energy and information from which all physical reality emerges. Psychoenergetics and consciousness studies are experimental support for the idea that consciousness is not a passive observer, but an active participant in shaping reality. All of these principles support the metaphysical view that reality is not fixed, but probabilistic. Consciousness interacts with and influences the field of possibilities. Coherence, alignment of thought, feeling, and belief increases the strength of your signal. Manifestations are not handed down by a separate deity, but are energetic echoes of your own state of being manifested into form. You are not requesting, you are resonating, and the quantum field simply reflects your energetic frequency back to you like an echo. If you don't believe me, which is understandable because I'm an artist, not a quantum scientist, you can analyze the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. His research and teachings bridge neuroscience, quantum physics, and human potential. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work focuses on how thoughts, emotions, and consciousness can rewire the brain, recondition the body, and literally alter measurable aspects of biology and external reality. So I'd like to talk about some of his most groundbreaking discoveries about the body's innate power to heal and manifest reality, combining scientific evidence with metaphysical understanding. Dr. Joe Dispenza proposes that the brain is not just a processor of information, but also a transmitter and receiver of electromagnetic signals interacting with the quantum field. Every thought produces an electrical signal in the brain. Every emotion produces a magnetic field in the heart and body. Together, these create an electromagnetic signature that radiates beyond the body. This can be measured with EEG and HRV instruments. When you have intentionally focused thought and feel elevated emotions like gratitude, love, or joy, your brain and heart become coherent, the rhythms synchronize, producing a stronger electromagnetic field, and this state of coherence sends a clear, organized signal to the quantum field, which begins to attract resonant experiences into your life, just like a radio tuning to a specific frequency. One of his popular quotes is, "The quantum field responds not to what we want, but to who we are being." One of Joe Dispenza's central scientific findings is that you can literally rewire your brain and change your biology by thought alone. Evidence shows that through neuroplasticity, neurons that fire together wire together, meaning that your habitual thoughts and emotions sculpt neural circuits. Functional MRI scans of his workshop participants showed increased coherence and synchronization in brain regions associated with self-awareness, compassion, and creativity. People who repeatedly visualize or meditate on new outcomes activate the same brain areas as if those experiences were actually happening. By repeatedly mentally rehearsing a new reality and feeling it as though it's already real, you create the same neurochemical changes that would occur if it had already happened. Eventually, your brain no longer knows the difference between an external experience and an internal visualization. When you realize your power, you can signal new genes from the inside. Dr. Dispenza's workshops have documented spontaneous epigenetic healing, showing the body's ability to regenerate. Evidence has shown people reversing chronic conditions, autoimmune diseases, tumors, and even neurological disorders. Epigenetics shows that genes are not fixed, they're turned on or turned off by signals from the environment, and your internal environment created by thoughts and emotions. Studies show that meditation and elevated emotional states can lower inflammatory markers, boost beneficial immune gene expression, increase IgA antibodies, the body's first line of immune defense. By entering deep meditation and heart coherence, the body enters homeostasis and regenerative mode, triggering the parasympathetic nervous system and healing cellular communication. The energy of consciousness itself begins reorganizing matter because energy is the precursor to form. Dispenza's studies with the HeartMath Institute show that the heart's electromagnetic field can synchronize with the brain's activity, creating coherence, and this is a measurable state of harmony in the body's electromagnetic rhythms. Heart-brain coherence increases alpha and gamma brainwave patterns. Gamma brainwave patterns above 40 Hz are linked with mystical experiences, unity consciousness, and expanded awareness. Participants often report sensations of oneness, timelessness, or unconditional love, which correspond to measurable bursts of gamma activity. This state of deep coherence is when the body becomes the subconscious mind's servant, and energy flows freely through the nervous system. From this state, manifestation becomes effortless because your inner signal is pure, unconflicted, and in resonance with higher order intelligence. Incoherence is like having your foot on the gas pedal and the brakes at the same time. But coherence is like driving in accordance with driving conditions toward your manifestations. And I think we all sometimes get into moods of feeling like our manifestations aren't happening fast enough, but most of the time it's because we metaphorically have our foot on the brakes and gas pedal at the same time. And we just need to recalibrate back into alignment and release the energetic blockages that have been like the brakes causing resistance. Dr. Joe Dispenza describes the quantum field as a unified, intelligent energy that contains all possible realities in potentiality. Your personal electromagnetic field interacts with this universal field through coherence and emotion. As we addressed earlier, the observer effect shows that attention collapses waveforms into particles, and quantum entanglement suggests that everything in the universe is interconnected beyond time and space. When you feel your future as if it's already happened, you broadcast that new frequency into the field. The universe, acting like a mirror of consciousness, reflects that energy back as physical experience. You don't force matter to change matter, you elevate your energy, and matter reorganizes accordingly. When you change your energy, you change your life. Dr. Joe Dispenza's live events demonstrate measurable field effects where hundreds or thousands of people meditating in heart-brain coherence can produce global electromagnetic fluctuations detectable by satellite magnometers, such as those used in Global Consciousness Project. Data observed sudden spikes in global magnetic resonance, Schumann resonances, during mass meditations, synchronization of participants' brainwaves, and heart rhythms across distances, and collective healing. There are also countless reports of emotional release and synchronicities following group meditations. Just as one coherent photon can influence millions of incoherent ones, as seen in laser physics, one human in a high coherent energetic state can influence the collective field. This supports the idea that personal elevation contributes to global coherence, echoing the Maharishi effect and the notion of healing the world by healing yourself. Brainwaves are rhythmic patterns of neural activity measured in hertz, cycles per second. Each range corresponds to a different state of consciousness, and I will include a visual here. Gamma waves are the fastest and most complex oscillations that the brain can produce. They're associated with peak awareness, heightened intuition, integrated perception, expanded love and bliss, and transcendental experiences. In essence, gamma is the signature frequency of an awakened brain. Gamma oscillations bind distant regions of the brain together, creating a unified perception and higher order cognition. In Dr. Joe Dispenza's research, EEG scans of advanced meditators show bursts of global gamma synchrony, meaning that the whole brain was operating as one coherent network. This synchronization is often accompanied by a profound sense of unity and ecstasy. Participants describe it as becoming pure awareness or merging with the field. Gamma waves represent high-frequency electrical energy, indicating intense coordination and communication among billions of neurons. The universe is responding to our embodiment. Let every cell in your body integrate the intelligence of nature. Let love become your baseline embodiment, because living as love is living as gracefully as nature lives. You don't seek miracles. You recognize yourself as a miracle. We are also students and teachers of love, and love is the highest intelligence of the universe. Earlier, when I said you deserve the admiration you easily give to a sunset, I also thought about one of the poems in my sketchbook that I designed. As many of you already know, on my channel, Divine Magic Art, I really love sharing my poetry from my sketchbook, and all of my sketchbooks that I designed, all of my artwork is on divinemagicart.com. I hope you see yourself the way that you admire sunsets. Because you are a brilliant spectrum of colors, do you recognize the resemblance? You and sunsets are the evidence that beauty doesn't ask for permission. Your existence is worthy of your own adoration, and I hope you see yourself the way that you admire sunsets. Imagine what would happen if we walk as if galaxies were watching every stride through our eyes. What would happen if we speak as if every word carries the volume of a supernova? We are not just here to witness wonders, we are here to remember our power in its full display of colors. I hope you see yourself the way that you admire sunsets. Tomorrow, when you watch the sun craft another masterpiece, I hope you remember, that's what I see every time I admire your soul's beauty. And someday, I hope you see your complete radiancy. I hope you see yourself the way that you admire sunsets. I hope you notice how your eyes hold light as bright as the sun when you see someone you love. I hope you see your vulnerability as sacred and your shadow as your most loyal companion. Forever the most devoted lover, who will never find fault in your scars, just as you have never blamed a fading sunset. I hope you like my poetry, and if you're still here, comment below as an affirmation, I am creating my greatest life. I would love to know any thoughts that you have, and if you're interested to know the 10 scientific facts that prove your existence is a miracle, I think it's one of the most impactful videos I've ever created, and I think it has the most important messages that can really inspire you to create your greatest life. If you resonate with my channel, Divine Magic Art, be sure to like and subscribe, and I have a full playlist here. Until we meet again, may you remember that your life is full of divine magic.